Women in the Wichita area are getting flowers sent to them from someone trying to scam them. We want to make you aware so that you don't fall for it. It's a typical romance scam. Criminals are targeting a specific age group, trying to scam them out of thousands of dollars. And this time, they're also getting money from the flower shops involved. I talked with several women who were alerted by one of those flower shops that the person that they thought they were talking to was actually a scammer. Iris Blossom's flower shop in Clearwater.
Thank goodness my wedding is across the street.
Owner Rissy Zimmerman knows what looks good. And she knows what looks bad.
I was so mad that day.
Like when she got multiple orders from the same man for multiple different women.
Threw up red flags. I was really uneasy about it, but I didn't want to not do the order if it was real, but I didn't want to get scammed by it either.
A man with a strong accent called Rissy wanting to send flowers.
And I said, I can't understand you. He's like, can I text you?
Sometimes the man knows the woman's full name. Sometimes not. He also struggles with their addresses in most cases and demands same-day delivery.
I said, well, why don't you call a Wichita location? Because I'm like 30 minutes from Wichita.
Rissy says the caller tried sending flowers to women in Goddard, Wichita, Valley Center, and Hayesville. It wasn't until Rissy delivered flowers to Janie Page that she really knew something was off.
I asked the recipient if the name he had given me, if that person lived there. And she's like, no, but I'm talking to a gentleman by the name of Scott. And that was the last name he had given me. So I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Rissy then got a chargeback on the order. That's when a credit card company denies charges, typically something you see with a stolen credit card. She started connecting the dots.
So I started calling around to other flower shops in the area, and I actually found 5 other shops that has been dealing with the same thing and the same guy. Like the orders, everything is very similar.
The women getting the flowers are all talking to the same guy through some sort of dating site. We talked with 2 of those women. Neither fell for the scam, but both had very similar stories. Janie Page says she met her guy on Facebook dating.
It just progressively got to where he started to tell me that he loved me, and when he really didn't even know me that well, and so that was a little bit of a red flag.
Janie says the man sent her pictures of himself that was a completely different person than what was on his dating profile. And when Rissy showed up to deliver flowers to Janie, that's when she got scared.
And we kind of realized that this is pretty much a scam, and so it scared me because I never gave out my home address, and yet she had my home address. He had given it to her, and so immediately after, then I, of course, came in the house and deleted my Facebook profile, and then I also blocked him.
But it didn't stop there. Janie then got a call from a doctor asking her to send $5,000 to him, or the man she had been talking to might die.
I told him I do not know this individual that well to be on as an emergency contact. And so then I went ahead and hung up.
The same thing happened to another woman in Goddard who wants to remain anonymous. She says Janie's story is very similar to hers. Her guy said he was originally from Wichita, working on a project overseas. He told her he was heading back home to be with her after only talking with her a few weeks.
A couple days later, he says, oh, I have bad news. I just got told that I have to pay taxes on this project that I didn't even know I had to do, and it's like $250,000.
He asked her to send him money, or he wouldn't be able to see her. He also tried wooing her with flowers from Rissy's shop.
I don't know how he got my new address, because I had just moved in a couple days, and he sent the flowers to me. So I don't know how he got my new address.
It took some digging from Rissy.
I put, I'm aware of your actions. I've called the police. Please don't contact me again. Obviously, he didn't get it.
To help multiple women from getting scammed. And each say they're lucky they didn't fall for it.
Through this process, I've learned that I have to be very cautious.
And it was kind of reassuring to know that you know, at least we're all in this together, that this happens. That doesn't just happen to one of us, that it's, you know, it's happening, and we got to be careful.
We want to make sure that this never happens to you. Dating websites are popular, and scammers know that. So here's some red flags that you should be looking out for. If the person you're talking with doesn't want to do any video chats or even just talk with you on the phone, that's a big red flag. And if you barely know them and they're telling you they're in love with you, another red flag. And don't ever give money to someone you don't know.
It was many a days I would like trying to put a little bit together just to get one meal. So we learned how to make do with what we have and get by.
Shootings cause a lifetime of pain for victims and their families, but also cost everyone money. Research into how much gun violence costs taxpayers each year, next on Factfinder Investigates.